I don't know what's going on. Hi,
I
hi,
don't
hi.
know what was going on either. It's like it went blank and it was like, what?
Oh,
Oh,
it's these technical things.
and
So
and we changed sides now.
I know, I know. So our platform has changed and we're just trying to get familiar with it, but you don't need to worry yourselves about that. We are back with another episode of Gym Time with myself, Debbie, and my bigger bro.
Maurice, aka Paul.
It looked like you was gonna say Paul, like it's like you didn't know to say Maurice. You went,
No, I did that.
but hi,
Hi,
welcome
everybody.
to Instagram as well. I have you up to date, so that's going good for once. And I can see the chat, so that's really, really good. That's something positive that's actually happening.
That's
So
great.
yeah, we have to
I
get
still don't
familiar.
know how to do the Facebook yet. It shows it that it's ready to go, but it only goes on my phone. So I guess we'll work out
Yeah.
that those technicalities as well. Hi, sis. I hope you're feeling better, Sonia.
Hi
Glad,
guys.
glad to see you
Hi
back.
Sonia. So
And hello to virtual world. So,
virtual world for those
hmm?
that are what is it, watching a replay. um
Yeah, as well,
so
watching the replay. Hi.
yeah, so do you want to share what we are talking about tonight?
Tonight's show, Debbie and I was discussing, and she came up with this topic, and I didn't know it was that much a taboo. And then I was looking, obviously I do a little bit of research and stuff like, but it's about dating a short man. Uh, um, why is it still a taboo? And you know what? Before we go there, I'm gonna do my disclaimer because I don't want nobody come back to me about this one.
And you know what? I have to edit this video. My apologies, because on the actual broadcast, it's actually got dating a short and it's not got man there. I literally just saw it. So for those who are watching it, it is dating a short man.
Not
And on
small.
here I've got dating a small man. What's going on today?
Yeah. Hey, that can open up a
I
whole
know, small man.
world right there. A small man. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's not good.
It's short man. Yeah.
There
There
you go.
you go. So my disclaimer, we're here to empower. Do you know what? Not just empower, have us laugh and smile, being humorous and funny, you know, in empowering you and getting you look at things from a different perspective, getting you to try things that you've never tried before, or you tried it and it failed, but you can readjust it slightly. So we're here that we might be able to encourage you to do those things, that you can have a fruitful relationship, marriage, with your significant other. So that's my
Wasn't
you
really a
see
disclaimer,
today.
but
No,
hear it.
yeah, the claim. This has been today. I noticed that I say it as well. So having a stroke, sometimes certain things happen to you as well. So you know what you want to say, and your mouth says something completely different, or something just disappears out of your brain. Just I said disclaimer before, but yet it just went. And my last bit of it is, don't cut your neck. If you try these things and it don't work, just fine tune it and be the authentic you doing it as well. We're not giving you the words to say. It's just um, another way to look at things, or another way to say things, but adjust it for yourself. I know there was a word that I wanted there, and that's gone as well, but I don't mind. You know, praise God. Over to you, Debbie.
Well, over to me. So, I'm really excited about this topic, first and foremost. Not crazily excited, but it's quite funny. Someone reminded me today that we was talking about this, not this weekend, the weekend before, when I went away on the leadership retreat. And so, yeah, it's kind of a topic that I know that people find is taboo, because even in the week, I actually saw a post with a woman and her, well, it's her husband actually, and he was much shorter than her. And I was reading some of the comments. Actually, I should have put it on here. Reading some of the comments, and the comments were crazy. Do you know what I mean? But I'll share that in a little while. So my disclaimer is that we are here to encourage, empower you, to make you laugh, make you have food for thought, all of those wonderful things. And, you know, like I've said on many, many other podcasts, that our experience comes via our life, our lived experience. And so we might not have a PhD or a degree in psychology or in relationships, but we will bring you the information that we research, and we will also be transparent and honest with you about the challenges that we've experienced and the things that we've actually used and put into practice that has actually worked for us, and hopefully it will benefit you in some way. So with that said, I don't know everything, but what I do know I will share with you. So
Absolutely.
over to you then, bro, to kick off.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a new one for me, because I'm not overly tall and I'm not short. So being 10 foot, being 5'10", you know, I used to want to be 6 foot, because I used to think that being over 6 foot, more manly and tall, and maybe because I like working out, and that I'll be buff and tall and stuff like that, and women notice you if you walk into a room and you're tall. Um, but the funny thing about it is that I wasn't tall growing up. I was short. Yeah, all my classmates, most of them, bar probably three, were taller than me and grew moustache and everything long before I did. However, I where I learned how to dance, and I learned how to. I was a good dancer, still am. And dress. Um, that was that. I said it in a podcast before. That gave me confidence. So if I saw somebody noticing me shaking my stuff, you know, I would go for that person. And I used to go for women who were taller than me as well. And I was when Debbie was speaking about this, I I remember dating a woman that said she never dates short men. Never. She just doesn't. They have to be over 6 foot. But yet she went out with me. You know, I was dating her as a short man. She was probably, I think she was 6'1" or 6'2", something like that. And at the time, maybe 5'8". I mean, it's not that short, but it's shorter than what she would have normally gone for. And so when I was thinking about this subject, or when Debbie said, I thought it's about certain people have principles, that all principles or rules can be broken. And I think that if you hold the looks, no, not really, if you hold those attributes that that individual is looking for, height shouldn't come into the equation at all. We all want to be loved, whether it's men or women, you know, and in a way, it's discrimination. You know, you're discriminating, or someone's ruled out because their height isn't what you want. But people will say, but you what you prefer is what you go for, which is true. But here's a scenario. Here's a man who's tall, and handsome, and but is whatless. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's not loving. Yeah, matter of fact, he's not even really intimate. All he does is just you've dated him, and all he does is that's it. Nothing to him. And here's a short man that is short and handsome, and he has everything going for himself. He's caring. You decide to go on the date just because a friend is. I'm going to change the scenario up. Just because a friend said to go. Let's say you didn't even sleep with the first one, the tall man, but you've dated the tall one and you've dated this short man. The short man has it all together, but you're saying that you don't like dating short men. You've gone forcibly by your friend. Here's these two. Do you choose the tall man because that's what you go for, or do you choose the man who has principles and has everything going for himself, equally as handsome? That's a question that I'm throwing out there to you all, as you women, because this is really a woman thing that we're really talking about. Because as I was looking at this and studying and looking at the different comments, men don't really have a problem with height. That's why a short man will approach you, because he's confident in himself and he thinks that you're attractive and he thinks that you got it going on. And if you got it going on, give him a chance. I got that chance of someone who said, I don't ever think she did after me. Not because I was not nice.
She's like, never again.
No, but there was circumstances that happened why we broke up, and whether she's with a tall man or short man or whatever else it is, I don't know her to have gone. That's what she preferred. Who knows? I won't call her name. Next thing you know, someone's coming after me.
Becky, don't.
I will never. I will never call anyone's name.
I know. So I was looking up some stuff, as we do, and I went onto this dating transformation website.com, and I liked what they said, what was said on here, and I think that. So I'm going to read a couple of other stuff, and then I'm going to share this. But I think that for it's a societal thing, really, because I read somewhere, I can't remember, I haven't got it up on here, but I read somewhere that women don't really worry about guys' height per se. They don't want them to be extra tall. They prefer them to be either their height or just a little bit above them, especially like women when they're putting on their heels and stuff. They want them to be, if they're putting their heels, they don't want to be towering over them. On this site, it says for a woman, it's not really about a guy's height. It's about how a guy's height makes her feel. Namely feminine, smaller, safe. A shorter man can give her those same feelings by adding muscle at the gym, carrying himself with confidence, using his voice in a dominant way, or getting great at flirting. And I think that sometimes a shorter man might overcompensate by going in the gym, because they want to look stronger because they don't have the height. I've been in the gym, and you tend to see I wouldn't say a lot of short guys, let me not say that, but you do see short guys and they're really quite bulky. And I think that that's a thing. I think that oftentimes when a woman says she doesn't want to date a short guy is because they don't feel safe and secure. And me and yourself, Paul, was talking about the taller man. He doesn't mind dating a short woman because in his mind, he's thinking, I can just whisk her off her feet. I can throw over my shoulder. I can do all kind of things with her, especially sexual. And so I think that for women, it's just that they don't. I haven't dated somebody that is shorter, much shorter than me. My height. I remember one time this guy really liked me, and we was like talking online and so forth. And then when I met him, he was like sitting down. Obviously, he had quite a long torso because he looked tall. Why are you laughing already?
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing? Like,
I'm sorry.
so I went into the wine bar. He was sitting down, and he looked tall until he stood up. And the thing is, I kind of felt there was something about him anyway. He wasn't small in stature. He was quite broad. But like when you're meant to leave, but the conversation is like being prolonged. And then, he was much shorter than me. And I was like, okay, but he was a really nice guy. So I kind of like saw past the height and so forth, and we had like a second date. But he had such a complex about himself that I knew that it wouldn't go any further anyway. Do you get what I mean? Because he was very insecure about his height. A lot of the conversation was after the initial me realizing his height. He was talking about that quite a bit, and explaining stories and like trying to justify kind of the height. But I like what it said on here. I'm going to read this. And this is what is important, I guess, if you are going to date somebody who is shorter than you as a woman, uh, um, because you want somebody who's going to be confident. It says it. I went out on a so it's somebody explaining. I went out for a night and found myself wingmanning with a cool 5'4" guy named Darren. He was phenomenal with women. Not only did he not care about his height, with several girls he met, he led it with, with several girls he met, he led with it. He told one woman, when we get married, I can be on the wedding cake. So you can imagine he's quite confident because he's saying he's
Mm.
be that little miniature man on the wedding cake. And she laughed so hard that she spit out a drink. To another woman, he said, I promise I will not look down on you. And so, those kind of, jokes will really make it, I guess, for a woman as well, because she will know that this guy is quite confident. What do you
Yeah.
guys think in the chat? Because I think,
We'll go to the chat in a minute.
yeah, because there's a couple of ladies in the chat. I want to know what their thoughts are in regards to it. Actually, there's a
Yeah,
couple of messages.
let,
Want to read
let me
those?
read this bit, and
Go
then
on,
they
yeah.
can comment on this. This came from the Telegraph here in the UK. Most of my female friends, I'm jumping down on the information. Most of this person's female friends admit that it is still important for them to date or marry a man who is taller than them, and not only a bit taller either. A good 2 inches taller is required. So why are so many women, including myself, still programmed to think like this? One of the bit that I wanted to put in here is this. It also says being tall and big is a sign of strength in men, whereas having a curvature petite figure is considered womanly. But these days, with supermarkets doing all the hard work for men and women, what is the main strength modern women should look for in a potential partner? And that's very true. What are you really looking for? Why is it that you think that, like, let's go to the comments a minute, because something that in there is very true. Because what if the man is a fifth dan and he's 5'4" and he can bruck up every tall man in the room? Yeah.
Yeah.
What then? Are you going for him because then he's a protector? He can protect you. He's got confidence in himself. But
Mm-hmm,
then you won't get over the fact that he's too short for you.
mm-hmm,
When Catherine put on the heels, Catherine's not that much shorter than me. I'm probably about 2 inches or 3 inches taller than Catherine. And when she puts on the heels, like the other women who was tall, she's towering over me. I
mm-hmm.
can't even hold her hand properly. Yeah. She can just lean on me instead. Yeah, I don't have no problem with that. And believe me, I'm the most confident man in the room. It's like, yes, this is my wife.
But I think that is because you're not like 5'4", 5'5". You're not that height. So anyone can look at
So,
you and look at Catherine and see that without her heels, she's probably the same height, if not a little bit shorter.
but
I
then
think
the person's got when they got heels on, you look short. There is no two ways
no,
about
but
it.
not
It's like
no,
this.
because I've
This is
seen you. I've
Catherine to
seen
me.
you and Catherine with her heels on, and you're not majorly shorter than her. If she was with someone who's 5'5", 5 foot even 7, it will make a big difference. You will see that. But because you're like what 5'11",
No,
are you
10.
10? So
Yeah.
you're relatively tall. So when she's got her heels on, you're not ridiculously shorter than
No,
her.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, she's
Oh,
got Travel Buffet said there, you are not Kevin Hart size. So, and the thing is, Kevin Hart, he's got that larger than life character, hasn't he? So
personality. Hmm.
personality character, that's him. And then he also goes to the gym. Do you get what I mean?
Hmm.
And so he's probably, and obviously he's famous, he's got lots of money, so he's desirable. Like, if people was like, this is what I think. If people was to say, you was to ask women like Kevin Hart, what would you say? Oh, he's all right though. They would be like, he's all right though, because of everything else that comes with it. Do you get what I mean? Who's the other one? The one that does Mission Impossible. What's his name again?
Yeah, him.
He's very, very short, and the
Tom Cruise.
camera, the camera makes him look tall. Do you
Tom
get what I
Cruise.
mean? Tom Cruise, yeah, the camera makes him look much taller than what he actually
Mm.
is. But again,
And he doesn't really work out.
no, he has like I would say like probably athletic, but not like hench, you know.
Well, hmm.
But again, women love him. They love him. But that's because he's
Some.
handsome, he's an actor, all of those kind of things. So I don't think it's necessarily just because they're short. I think if a man is short and he has a number of qualities and so forth, then some women will say yes. So this was a conversation I was having with someone recently. I said years ago, there's certain things that I would not go for. And then I found all of that in my husband, like things that I wouldn't go for. And she asked me, would you have gone for somebody who was short? And I said, you know what? Back in the day, I definitely would have said that. Definitely 100%. But I think that when you start to get older, not because you might get passed up or anything like that, but you realize that some of those things are quite superficial, and they're not
Mm.
things that you look at and you think, nah, definitely wouldn't. So I think that age plays a big part in it. When you're younger, there's certain things you'd be like, no, I definitely don't want that, definitely don't want that. And then you
There's,
realize that they're
there's,
quite superficial.
there's still some women nowadays that say that they don't want a short man. Yeah, and it's like, why pass up a good meal? Yeah, they say good things come in small packages.
And
But
you know,
I think I think that it's there's a thought process on a short man as well,
mhm,
because for some women they think that his penis might be too small,
mhm.
and so hence you think that the man who's 6'4" and 6'5"
What a
is well endowed,
misconception.
and it cannot be like that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
you can get that
So
totally
you're there
wrong.
and you're thinking to yourself, oh, he's tall, oh, he's got big hands, oh, he's got big feet. And then you decide that, this is who I'm going for. And he's wee willy winkle. Yeah. And it's like, hang on, what happened? Yeah.
um, Travel Buffet said, "I feel like Kevin is overcompensating." Maybe so. I think his personality is larger than life, and he probably does. I don't know, but I guess because he's at that level of fame, you probably wouldn't really know that much now because he's managed to really kill it on the comedy scene. Go on then.
What do you mean men don't have a problem with height? Meaning that most men don't think like that necessarily. There are It's a small percentage from my perspective and from my experience that men don't think, you're a bit short, I don't want you. Yeah. Or you're too tall, I don't want you. There are other factors that come into play. Yeah. A man might turn around and say he doesn't want to be with a stout woman for whatever reason, but it will be that. And I don't want a woman with natural hair, or I don't want anybody who wears a wig. You know, you see, it gets kind of sticky and nasty because someone can have a beautiful personality. That's why I didn't discriminate about size at all. That never ever bothered me. So
Mhm,
the answer to the question: men don't really have that issue on whether a woman is short or she's too tall.
mhm.
Most there are a percentage, but they are the minority, in my experience.
Yeah, I think that you're right in the sense that I don't typically hear men saying I don't want to go out with a short woman. It, I do hear them saying, however, I don't want to go out with a big woman or a slim woman.
Yeah.
That's more what I've heard.
Hmm.
It's normally about
And
size.
color, they will say
Oh yeah,
color
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
A
You know,
natural preferences on color, but when it comes to height, I think that I don't typically hear no, I wouldn't go out with a short woman, or I wouldn't go out with a woman that's too tall or taller than me. I think I think it will be more a man saying they don't really want to go out with a woman that's taller than them more than shorter, because men, you know, I think the average height of a man is 5'8", something like that, and a woman's height is 5'5". So a man saying I don't want to go out with someone that is shorter than me is a little bit, well, if you're 5'8" in average, you're typically gonna find a woman that is shorter because a woman at 5'5", average height. Um, I wanted to read this. Societal norms. Throughout history, there's been a cultural emphasis on height, particularly for men. Taller men are often seen as more masculine, dominant, and attractive, while shorter men may face stereotypes of being less powerful and capable. What do you think about Paul?
you cut up.
Did I?
So taller men, yeah, I didn't hear you properly. So taller men, I got part of it, and let me see if I can piece it together. Um, taller men, um,
I can say it. I can say it.
yeah, go on, then.
Taller
Go on.
men often seen as more masculine, dominant, and attractive, while shorter men may face stereotypes of being less powerful or capable.
Talking to my friend today, and he's short, but he's powerful. He
Mm,
come, he's a funny guy, as in crack jokes, but there's a confidence about him
mm,
and a power to him, being able to be assertive because he is assertive. I think that society says that, but real life, it's different. Yes, society says, and from perspectives, tall men are handsome. What's his name? He was a model, Tyson something.
Beckford,
Yeah, yeah,
you're quite
yeah.
hot.
He's a model, and
Hmm.
he's tall, and he's a handsome man. He's got big square shoulders, and women will look and say, "Oh, you know."
Mm.
But Tyson's not really the other Tyson now. He's not really that short, but
He's shorter.
he's shorter. And some women will find him attractive. He's muscular. He's funny. Yeah. So society throws out these what seemingly seems normal, and people seem to bite as well. We're not talking about preferences, because if we have a preference, we prefer never to go through any traumas. We prefer not to go through any hardship. We prefer to have more money. We prefer all these things. We prefer. But relationship wise, shouldn't compatibility and happiness come in more than someone's height? That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in total agreement.
Yeah.
When it comes
I want to ask you a question.
go on
Why
then.
back in the day did you say that you didn't want to be with anyone short?
Like I said, because for me, I was reasonably tall. You know, yeah, I was tall. So I remember being at school and I dated this boy that was much shorter than me, and I think that part of it was a societal thing because I remember he was shorter than me and people was laughing. Do you get what I mean? Because yeah, I was taller. You know what I mean? I was taller than most people back in the day. You know what I mean? Because I was like 5'8" when I was like probably about 13, 14. Do you
Yeah,
get what I
even
mean?
grown.
No, I haven't grown. I haven't grown. I was very remember I was really tall and skinny. Do you get what I mean? At school. So I towered over my friends, I towered over a lot of boys. And I remember, you know, rest his soul now, he's passed away. Yeah, he was just shorter than me. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of guys were shorter than me. But I remember my friends were
Oh, I know
literally
who you're talking
laughing.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember my friends laughing at me, and I was just like, I felt embarrassed. But he was a really nice person, and you know, we remained friends. I think that you know, I think that we was boyfriend and girlfriend for probably about a week. You know, them ones where
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
teenagers,
You remember back in the day, you had a girlfriend for a week or a boyfriend for a
or a
week,
few hours,
a couple of 3 days. Yeah,
or a
yeah.
few hours back in the day
And
when you
then
was at school.
all of a
You could
sudden it's
you could have a
you're chucked.
girlfriend in the morning or a boyfriend in the morning. By afternoon, evening, he broke. You do one thing, you don't give me no sweets or something. You break up
You
with
didn't
them,
answer the phone. I was
innit?
ringing your phone and I had to go down to the phone box and call you and you didn't answer. So no, you're not the one for me. Was you in? Yeah, I was at home, but I didn't hear the phone.
Or you
Right,
couldn't
that's
answer
it.
the phone, innit? You couldn't. You weren't allowed to answer. weren't allowed to answer the phones.
And you don't tell that. You don't say, "Oh, my mom said I can't answer the phone." You know.
Exactly. Innit?
Oh
You have
wow.
Pierre Bill in here.
Do you remember? Or you got the lock on the telephone. You can't use it. You have to tap the line. Some of you
Absolutely.
don't know about tapping line, and some of you do. You know.
Yeah.
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 Or you're on the phone too long. Your mom picks up the other extension phone. Who this
Come
by the phone?
That used to happen to us enough times.
All you do is put down. You don't even answer.
You
They
don't
don't answer.
even
They put down the phone and you put down the phone. And you know, you hear that.
I'm telling you, as kids, man. So, the other thing as well,
Mm.
like in the media, like you know, movies, TV shows, adverts, it's it's often reinforced the idea that a taller man is more desirable, and you know, leading men in Hollywood, you know, apart from most of them are tall, you know, in films and in the media, they tend to look for those tall men. I mean, I think that now things have changed substantially, but after a while you like brainwash people and make people think a particular way. Even when society changes or things change, there's still the majority.
Residues of the thought
Yeah,
process.
yeah,
Hmm.
the thought process is still there. And yeah, but that was the reason why I didn't. Like I said, I was young, quite superficial. Um, but yeah,
But you know what? There are men that are tall that are very insecure about their height as well. Yeah,
because they're too
being too
tall.
tall. Yeah, being too
Hmm.
tall,
Hmm.
and
Like
there
those ones that are
there will
like
be
six
that
foot
percentage.
six, like 6'6", 6'7", extremely tall. Because I know women who are really quite tall, like 6 foot, 6'1", and they've gone through their period where they felt quite, insecure about their height, and I guess from school days being called, having been called names and stuff like that. So I guess if you're really tall, you're probably gonna get it, and if you're really short, you're probably gonna get it. But you're probably gonna get it more if you're shorter though than if you're taller.
See, I had my friends. I had some short friends. I'll give them a shout out, Sean Osborne. Do you
I
remember Sean?
thought you said you weren't gonna name people.
I'm shouting him out, giving a big up. I'm bigging him up. I'm not saying anything negative about him. You know, um, he was short. He knows he's short, but he was such a good laugh and friend, and so warm and loving. And his mum was as well. Don't you remember? We'd finish school and we'd go
Sorry, let
over
me.
to Sean's
Um, I could just hear a fly just zoom past me.
and we
Um,
go to Sean's house, and we'd have what they call tea.
yeah,
We'd
yeah.
have some dinner. But we didn't have to. He would say, "Come, come," and we didn't even reach home. We used to go to school like in Deptford, and we're off everywhere else before we go home. You know.
Mm.
Go on.
Um,
You was gonna say
I was gonna
hi,
say,
Trevor, to your
hi,
family.
Trevor. Vivien's saying about how I figured out how to unpick grandma's phone, because we was talking about the phone earlier on. I don't know how you managed to do that,
I
because that
don't, I don't know either. I used to try to do it and I broke it. Who broke the phone? Who broke your
that was
phone?
yeah, that was a big phone that she had there. And Trevor's saying that he's all of 6'4". Go on, Trevor.
And Trevor, a question to you: is there a preference that you have when it came to or come to women that they're short or tall? Taller than you. Would you date a woman taller than you as well? There's a question. There's two questions there.
Yeah,
What was your
that is very
preference?
good. 6'4".
Yeah. What was your preference if you had one? And would you date someone six
Taller.
foot six, 6'7"?
Someone that's taller. But that's what I
See,
mean, because
see,
men
I
are
would.
typically 5'8", and the typical average height of a woman is 5'5". The chances is that men are going to find a taller woman, a shorter woman. Sorry, and most of them are going to be shorter than them. Most women are shorter than men. So, if your partner's 6 foot and you're 5'8", that's, as a woman, that's okay.
Sexist. Bring it up.
Short
This
man.
is travel.
I was bringing it up and you took it off.
I was. There you go.
Sexy
Sexist.
short man.
But yeah, by saying us saying short men. Uh, you're his raw badness, Prince.
No, she's saying sexiest. She didn't say
Oh, sexist.
sexiest.
Sorry.
She was saying sexiest
Oh,
short man. You're and it,
hold on, a minute.
we'll have to do an
Oh.
episode with men who needs glasses.
There's
um, yeah,
sexist
sexy
short
short
man.
man.
You're
You're.
raw.
I think she's saying
You're
you're
his.
his
You're
role
his raw
badness Prince.
badness Prince, as in Prince. The
Yeah, the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like
You think, but women love
the
him.
love of Prince. He
Not
could
even
have
just
been.
women, the men that love him.
He could have been in it. He could have been a pint size, like. But he used to wear heels as well, innit?
He is a pint size. Huh?
He used to wear heels to compensate
Yeah,
for
he
his
did.
height. He did, yeah.
Yeah,
And he had no
you know.
qualms with it, none whatsoever. Trevor says, "I've never dated taller than me. I don't have a preference of a woman's height." See, there you go. So earlier on, that's
Hmm.
what we were saying, that men typically don't, whereas it's normally a woman thing. However, you know, I think that if you're going to go for somebody, if you're dating someone and they're shorter than you, like as a woman, you're
Yeah,
dating a man and he's shorter than you, I think you just get on with it. I don't think that it becomes a thing. Like I said earlier on, there's certain things that I said I wouldn't go for, and then when I was younger, and then and that's what I went for. I think that you just get on with it. I don't even think that after a while it's like living next to a train track, isn't it? After a while, you don't hear the noise. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
I hear
you're
the
just,
noise. But
yeah, you're used to it.
but it's. I think. I think that still, like what you said with friends laughing, there's still friends that will say, why would you go for such a short man? You know,
That's none of their
and and and
business.
and and, and you shouldn't be ashamed to say,
That's It's them
you know
giving
what,
you a
number
complex.
one, you say to him, well, that's my preference, and number two, he's a wonderful guy. You know, height doesn't come into it.
Hmm.
You know, but his attributes, his key attributes that meet mine, match mine, I like that. You know, unless that, people have phobia of short people,
Yeah, I think that
and there are people like that, by the way.
yeah, I think so as well. Do you want to read Mel's message?
Me broken in a the phone as well.
As well.
I
She put the
use
one as well.
tapping for. Yeah. So shit, uh, you know what? All this confession is now.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
The
It's good
gr-
for the soul. It's good for the soul. She fucking the
but
phone
I
as
want
well.
to know
Look,
how you broke into it, because it don't make no sense. Is it that metal lock with the key, and how do you, I still want to know.
Trevor says his ex-wife was 5'1", wears size 4 shoes, and I wear size 14 shoes. Box cover.
So,
Yeah, so literally, that's what we was talking about. The differences in height, like 5'1" and 6'4" is a huge difference. And
mm,
that's what we were saying earlier on, Trevor, before you joined us. Men typically do not have that kind of issue, and women being with a taller man is not thinking, "Oh wow, he's too tall." No, they're not. They will embrace that. Whereas if that was a man who was 5'1" with a woman that was 6'4", he would feel some kind of way. Do you think, Paul?
could could feel could feel
You
because
don't
for
think a man
him
who's 5'1"
initially
with a
to
woman
be.
that's 6'4" is going to kind of feel some kind of way?
No, because it depends on the man. Because if he's gone out of his way to talk to her and to date, he's confident in himself. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah,
typically men.
I saw a picture. Sorry, I saw a picture with a tall lady with a short man, and she had him on her hip like he was a child, like he was. She did. She had him on the hip like he was like if he was a little child.
See,
I mean,
I find that
they're
funny.
making fun of it. They're making fun
Yeah,
of it, but it was funny.
the thing is that if you're confident like me, okay, you're right. I wasn't short like that. To date someone who's 6'8" and I'm 5'10", but it wouldn't have bothered me because if you like this particular person and you've gone and pursued them,
Hmm.
you've got to have confidence about yourself, and that's what I want to say to some of the audience out there, women, that if he's short and he can come up and still be trying to date you, give him props.
Mm-hmm.
Go out on that date, you know, and let it be his personality or attributes that why you don't want to date him, not
Mm-hmm.
because of his height, you know, because the fact that he's come and said, you know, I like you, you know, I could see you from over there.
What?
I could see you in
Why do you have to go there?
because it's humorous, and any short person would find it humorous. It's humor, you know, and if you're offended, I can't help you. Yeah, you need to laugh at the fact that if it's the case that you're short, and there's short jokes, because there's black jokes. I don't laugh at them. There are other jokes, you know.
You should laugh at all of them.
I do. I actually do. It
I know
depends
you
on
do.
if it's vulgar, then
And
it's
it
different,
depends
you
on
know.
who's saying it, innit?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
There's
how
some
they're
people
saying it.
that I could name a few. Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
I never liked how he used to depict black people. Chalky man. It wasn't
Yeah, I
good at
remember,
all.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But but it was entertainment. You know. It was
It was.
entertainment on the TV.
I mean, back in
Yeah.
the day, we used to laugh at that.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you get older and realize.
I didn't think, what? What?
What? What are you saying?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I think he was short as well.
He was. He was. He was. He was.
Yeah.
Jim, what was his
Yeah.
name?
He was y- J, Jim Davison.
Jim Davis.
Jim Davison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Davison. That's his
Yeah.
name.
I don't think
Yes.
he's
We are
alive
quoting
anymore,
that
Paul.
name.
I don't think he's alive anymore.
I'll wake him up from the
Everybody's
grave.
confessing. Everybody's confessing because Trevor said I used to remove the center of the cap of the telephone dialer and screw on a spare dialer.
That's fair one. And
He went in. He proper went in.
I
He
know.
used to remove the
And
center cap, of the telephone
you
dialer
mean
and
she
screw
used
in a
the
spare.
hairpin?
He had a spare one. That's deep.
Wow.
That is.
No, it is. That is deep. I
We
didn't even
used to
think
just
about
tap.
the
We just used to tap.
hairpin, and I didn't even think about that dialing thing, because when we broke it, we should have kept that one when it
True.
got replaced. Then all we do is screw off, pull off the cap, unscrew that one, put on that one, and that. But you
Wow.
know what? How silly we were. What, don't you remember that the telephone, when the bill comes, it was always itemized anyway.
Yeah, that's right. We used to be on there.
Yeah.
But I don't think when
You
you
know,
used to tap it, I don't think when you used to tap it, it used to come up on there though.
no, I don't think the tapping did, but the fact that you made a phone call, it wouldn't be any number. It would just
Yeah,
be,
it was tapping and dialing quickly, just
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that. But yeah,
But
confession is good for the soul. Everybody's
we
just saying,
digress.
yeah. Are we still alive? Jim Davison.
Jim Davidson is
So
still
that Jim
alive and
Davison
70
is,
years old.
yeah, he's 70 years old. Okay, I thought he was dead.
Does he live in Chalk Farm?
Uh-uh. Where you go? You're terrible. I'm gonna,
I
I'm
know.
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna have to lock you off. I'm gonna have to do this, and then they can't see you. No, but
So come on, ladies, you haven't commented at all about, is there anything, anybody on Insta, Deb?
no, I didn't. Let me go
No.
on to Insta.
Come on, I need to hear some comments from ladies about men who are shorter and dating them, and would you do it, or have you done it? We'll sit here and wait. Because it's would you be uncomfortable? If
Yeah, so I just typed
some people suffer with,
over Instagram. You can say what your thoughts are on that.
because there is those who suffer with dwarfism. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, and
But they've got a whole community, you
I
know.
know they have, but
Yeah, they've even
I,
got one
I
of those. They've even got one of those talk shows, not talk shows, reality shows.
see the thing is that for people with dwarfism, as you know, I'm trying to say,
Mm.
um, they typically, what I've seen, only date their own. They're
Yeah,
only that odd few
I've
person.
seen a
Yeah.
couple where they've
No,
dated.
but you'll see a man. I've not seen. Oh no, I have actually. I've seen dwarf women with tall men, with men. But as I said, men won't have an issue with that. I've only seen it once or twice for a woman to be with a man who, and I'll look into that as well, who is a dwarf,
Hmm.
you know. But again, it's about the content of their heart. It's
Mm.
about their personality. It's about what they can bring to relationship,
Hmm.
not the height.
Yeah.
You know. That's so.
So I wanted to
Come
say,
on, we got some women here, and you're
no,
not commenting.
they
Travel
probably
buff.
don't. They probably don't want to say in it in case we
Yeah.
screenshot it. But I think that in certain social circles that people emphasis height, you know, their emphasis is on the height rather than the person. And I think that when you're in those kind of circles, it's really about people who want to look a particular way, be a certain way, and people get that peer pressure. You know, like I said, well, obviously I was a teenager and I felt that peer pressure because my friends were laughing. But as you get older, I genuinely think that um, you don't you don't really feel that pressure or shouldn't really feel that pressure if that person is loving and kind, respectful, do all of the things that somebody would do if they got height. They're just a human being, just like somebody else, like somebody who's 6'4", like Trevor. They're just exactly the same. It's just that they're not as tall. And so I don't think that um it should really make that bigger impact, but it
I,
does, unfortunately.
it does. I had a thought on that, and that with men who short men and been rejected by taller women, does it cause it possibly then causes some kind of complex and some sort of trauma,
Mm,
and why it might be that they, and like the other show, they might um uh subscribe to pornographic images, they might subscribe to a brothel, they might subscribe to sleeping around because they're not confident in themselves, because they've had a knockback, or constantly from when they were younger till, you know, that they reach mature age, you know, who knows? And there
mhm.
probably is those out there. And
All right,
if
what
you,
about
I just
this?
wanted to say this, and go on, you go say.
Do you think that some people date shorter people? Because I was reading what Travel Buffet says, Vivian, and she says that I've watched the Little People reality show, and there were many average women with little men. Do you think that sometimes people will have pity on them as well?
Hmm. I think some have a fetish.
Could be.
I think for some of them, they. I don't think pity. I think fetishism, or whatever. Can't even get the words out today. Yeah, but they have a fetish more than that feeling sorry for um, little people. You
Hmm.
know, you see, I've watched a few. Um,
Wow.
some people overcompensate, like we were saying earlier, so they're loud and boisterous. Yeah,
Mm.
so that's a no. That can be a turn off. You know,
Hmm.
for me, you're just loud, and the whole room can hear your conversation, and you know. I'm just sitting in front of you, you know.
Mhm.
But I think for the majority, having a calm demeanor and having a normal conversation, you can just be attracted to that person naturally, just as you would anyone who's taller, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. I think it's more fetish than it is pity.
Right. Yeah,
Trevor
I I agree.
Trevor says, I suffered with a complex as a teenager, as I've been this height since the age of 13. Kids can be mean. Yeah, yeah,
That is,
they can be
that's
mean,
tall. That's tall
you know.
for a
And
kid, isn't it?
yeah, you know. But it's and that Bossy, is he saying boasty?
Bossy.
Who?
He said that you was trying to get the word out, and he said that the word is bossy.
Okay, I
You don't
was that
remember
was
what you were saying?
no, no, I wasn't saying bossy.
Oh,
Yeah,
you weren't. So, Trafford Buffet
huh?
says, in my 20s, I dated a guy who, sorry, in my 20s, I date a guy. How was I'm not too sure what that was. Who was my height?
Who, 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 who
Was men,
was?
but it says many height. I didn't even think about it because he was confident, insecure, and short is not the business. Same way how some men like plus size women. So I think that she might have dated
Plus size.
guys who were maybe her height. I'm
Who
not
was
too
short?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her height.
Well, she said
Or
she didn't really think about it because he was confident. So it wasn't something that she actually really
hmm
thought about.
see, you know, that's this plus size thing. Even growing up for me, the woman who was 6'1", 6'2", she was a plus size. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it didn't phase me. I didn't see it. I think sometimes when it can go both ways. If you've got a stout mum and dad,
Hmm.
it becomes a norm to you that you don't mind dating someone who's a plus size. Um, don't quote me, you know, but that's my perspective. And if you got slim mum and dad, and there's a plus size girl, there's a possibility that you will turn her down because of that.
Hmm.
Like my best friend, he never, when we were younger, mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you ask him, excuse me, you know, plus size is no, nope, no, no, no. But when he got older, it was
That's what I'm
different
saying.
for him,
Yeah.
you know, because you imagine Lisa, God rest her soul, she was a plus size,
Hmm.
and I was what, 4, 15, 14, 15.
Well, you know about plus size anyway, them that time
Yeah, we never
you
even
was just
use
happy
that
to
word.
get a girlfriend. I
Huh?
said you was just happy
Say again?
to get a girlfriend.
No,
Let me
I'm about
see.
happy to get a girlfriend. Like I'm desperate.
Travel Buffet says dated a shorter guy. I need you all to read between the lines. Oh, okay. I wasn't reading between the lines.
Okay,
Was you
I'm
reading?
reading between the lines now. It's blank. Every between the lines is blank. No, I understand what you mean, but it is about confidence. But then some people are stuck. No, I don't care how he's funny. No, I don't care how he's got his own mansion. Then again, you know, uh, it's
I
one
think
of
that it
those.
would have to be substantial. Like, I think that there are some women that they wouldn't date, a regular guy who was short. He would have to have money, or, he would have to be really handsome, or, like for instance, some of my friends, they said they would never date a white guy, but then they might like see someone on television and say, well, if he looked like him and if he had money like him, And if it, do you know what I mean? It's like, so you could go out with a Caucasian guy then. So it's like you want that with all of the trimmings. You know, you don't want to
Yeah.
just date a regular guy. And I think that sometimes when women see a short guy, if he's short and he's very slim, again, I'm not too sure, you know. But I guess each to their own. I don't think that anybody should be exempted because, you know, like you said earlier on, everybody wants to be loved. They want to be a lot of people want to be in relationships and feel confident in their relationships, not to be made to feel insecure. And if you know you've got friends and family who are laughing at, you know, a prospective partner, you're going to feel some kind of way, but please don't make it. He could be the
Yeah.
person that
This is if he's
he's
the
been
one
looking
who is,
for.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If he's the one that you've been looking for and he treats you like a queen as you are, and is confident, it's not, love isn't for, not everyone's gonna love what you love. Yeah.
Hmm.
And as long as you love that
Mm.
particular person, thing,
And-
you just you stay on track, because they're the ones who are shallow.
mhm,
You know, when your friends are laughing, are they single friends laughing,
mm,
or they're
mm.
in marriages that are a mess laughing, and now they make you feel like you're small for finding someone for yourself, or someone who wants you, who so happen to be short. Yeah,
But Paul,
shortness doesn't.
there's the other side of it as well. Life has it that you could be with a 6 foot, you know, 4 man, and he has an accident and ends up in a wheelchair, or has an amputated leg. Do you get what I mean? You you know, these things happen.
Mm,
So when you're
yep,
saying I would never ever go out with somebody who's short, how about the tall man who becomes short because of an accident, or has both his legs amputated? Do you
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Because
yep.
life can happen, and so, you know, would you not love that person through it? Absolutely. And I know that everyone's got their preference, and no one is telling anyone who to go for, or who not to go for. It is your prerogative. But I would be kind of confident to say that probably many people walk past that potential mate because of their height. Do you know what I mean? Which, you know, they would just say, you know, the guy would just say, well, you missed out. You missed out on something great here, you know. So I think that, you know, personally, no, I don't think it should be an issue. And I think that most people make it an issue because, I would say, more society, what friends or family are going to think, that whole peer pressure more than anything.
Absolutely. And I
Why did
think
it work if you
that's,
froze your screen looked like if it was froze?
no, no, no. It's just sitting still, you know. I'm tired though, and I'm going to say we should wrap this up. It's been a long day.
I know.
No, this is it. Do you know what? I went to the gym today. I got uh PT, personal trainer, and I pushed myself that little bit more. Do you know I was going to come in? Anyhow, I'd laid down.
You
I
weren't gonna
wouldn't be
get
on the show tonight. I would not be here. You know, you'd be
it.
ringing me. Where are you? Where are you? And you, huh?
It'll be a
You know.
one woman show.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember those days when we first started?
Yeah, it was a lot of the time. It
But
was a one woman show because of the internet and so forth. But yeah, thanks everyone for
mhm,
joining us. Those of you who's been on Instagram listening in, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing next week. You know, there's a few topics that came to mind today, and just some of the inspiration, guys, come via you. So I think it's important that we say once again that any topic that you want us to talk about, even if we are not professionals in that area, trust me, we'll do our research. And so we will want you to share what topics are important to you, what topics you want to hear about, and we will just come on and we will just share our thoughts and our opinions, as well as, bringing up the knowledge that we've gained from various platforms and so forth. So yeah, make it
because
a point of letting
because
us know.
this one is really out there. This is a really out there one that I would never have thought that this could be a subject, but it is definitely something that's happening out there. You
Mm,
know, all you have to do is you go and research it for yourself, and that there's a taboo about it. There's definitely uh, um, a problem area. I'd love to talk to men who have been through that as well. Unfortunately, we got a 6'4" man in here and a
yeah.
5'10" man. So we can't really comment from that perspective. Well, definitely, Trevor can't. What's it like to be short, Trevor? Huh? Huh?
Exactly.
you know, this man, he's 6'9", and you're short.
Mm, in
Am I?
comparison.
Yeah, in comparison, you know what I mean. But thank you all for joining us, and please do
Absolutely. Thank you,
and
family, for
subscribe,
joining us. Thank you for your
yes,
comments.
and support.
And yeah, I'm gonna go and tell to the cousins there. I'm gonna go and tell my mum that you was picking grandma's phone. She'll probably laugh anyway. She'll probably say she did it too. But yeah,
No, she probably turn around and say, "Yes, that's why my children used to do it to me. Them did the same thing. Broke the luck." No, don't go and tell her, because it'll be a whole 2 hour.
open up a can of worms. But thanks, guys. We will be joining you next week, God willing, with another topic. So until then, take care and we will see you then.
See you then. Bye, people.
Bye then.